Hello Internet, it's TheRoschi, and today is gonna be a little sus. I am reacting to Shadows Amidst the Snowstorms, and man, what an excellent title that is. So things are gonna be a little questionable, not seem quite right, maybe even a little spooky. It's going to be a time, and I'm glad to share it with you. Let's get into it.
Hey, Timmy! Is that albedo? Why is he leaving?
Hey, it's the Traveler and Paimon.
Hello, you two. It's been a long time. Were you having a really serious discussion right now or something?
Just a regular catch-up. We meet here once in a while to go through any recent developments in our research projects.
So we just missed him. Maybe we should have hollered to him. He didn't look in the best of moods just now, though. Was he upset about something? If so, he probably wouldn't have been in the mood to help out anyway.
Upset? You mean albedo?
Yeah, he wasn't looking his usual self.
Upset? Uh-oh. I wonder if...
What are you looking at me for?
I wonder if Timaeus' research topic is so boring that albedo finally snapped.
Surely not. It's not that boring, is it?
Nah. Anyway, Paimon wanted to ask you for a favor, Timaeus.
A favor? Well, sure. How can I help?
Well, Paimon found a bunch of super-duper sweet Sincerias in the mountains the other day. But if Paimon eats them all, then they'll all be gone, so Paimon isn't ready to finish them all yet. Paimon was thinking maybe you could make a device that you put fruits in and it turns them into juice. That way, they'll be preserved for as long as Paimon needs.
She wants a juicer. Alright.
Oh, yeah, I'm afraid that sort of thing is a little...
Huh? Seems pretty straightforward to Paimon. Can't you do it?
Paimon, I'm afraid you've entered into the realm of the weird and wonderful with this one.
Okay. So how about you, Sucrose? Any idea?
I'm sorry. It doesn't sound like it falls within my area of expertise. I could give it a try if you really want, but I'd probably just end up giving all your precious fruits arms and legs.
Whoa, your tone is so calm, but your words are so terrifying.
Yup.
You'd think I'd be used to this by now.
Well, as you know, my focus is on bioalchemy. Besides, keeping things fresh forever is just not possible. If you just wanted to modify certain properties of the fruit or their seeds, on the other hand, I'd easily be able to help with that. Alchemists usually focus in on their own research areas. Take us, for example. Timaeus, albedo, and I all have very different research foci. Paimon, your idea is very imaginative, but it's beyond Timaeus' and my ability. I don't think even albedo can make such an incredible device. After all, alchemy is not mechanics. There is a big difference between the two.
Huh? Well, excuse Paimon for overestimating the power of alchemy.
In fact, before albedo showed up, everyone in Mondstadt thought alchemy was useless. Of course, we know better now. But even then, I have to admit, alchemy is only one of the many wondrous arts in the world. It's certainly not some kind of all-powerful magic that can simply take a substance and preserve it indefinitely. Sorry. That wasn't meant as a criticism against you personally.
Paimon just wanted some fruit juice. What's wrong with that?
Oh, of course, these are just Timaeus' and my subjective opinions on the matter. If you're really intent on pursuing this wondrous device, you can try your luck asking albedo. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If he has no idea how to make one either, you'll have to give up on the idea.
He doesn't seem to be in a good mood today, though. What if he ignores us?
All of this conversation over Paimon just wanting a juicer? Paimon, you crazy.
He won't. Albedo is not that kind of person.
Hey, so where is albedo heading to anyway? Dragonspine?
Where else would he go?
Unless he specifically says otherwise. Dragonspine is where he usually goes. He seems particularly fond of that place. And somehow, the cold doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Then let's go to Dragonspine to find him. Come on, there's no time to lose.
The snowy past. Alright. We're gonna try to meet Albedo at Dragonspine. I mean, we could probably catch up with him, depending on how fast he's going. And we're assuming that he's in not the best of moods. Oh, they're in the party. Okay, I was just like, why is Albedo here? God, that's confusing. I think it's interesting that we assume Albedo's not in the best of spirits. We literally just saw him walk away, but I guess we saw his face, maybe, according to them. That might be the case. I don't know. I could see maybe him acting weird because he's bored with whatever Timaeus was saying, but I feel like it's gonna go deeper than that. So, let's continue and see what's up. Oh, Amber's there.
This looks lively. What's the occasion? Let's go and have a look.
Hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy meeting you all the way out here.
Amber? Cyrus? Pallid?
Freaking Pallid.
What's everyone doing at Dragonspine? Don't you mind the cold?
Oh, the Traveler is joining us too. Oh, great! Fantastic! Wonderful! The more the merrier.
I agree. I feel much better with the Traveler joining us. Definitely the kind of person you want to have around in a tight spot.
I hate you.
Oh, right! Paimon remembers most of these people are from the Adventurers Guild. Then again, it seems a certain Outrider is doing too.
Allow me to explain. The Adventurers Guild is holding winter training on Dragonspine. As you know, our members have varying levels of adventure experience. Dragonspine is an excellent place for budding adventurers to challenge themselves and improve, but it's dangerous to go alone. So, we made a plan for senior members to pair up with junior members. This way, everyone can experience training on Dragonspine together under safe and controlled circumstances. Now, every adventurer can progress together. I've been working on this grand plan for half a year now, and it's finally coming together! It's a great plan, isn't it? Hey, you are an outstanding adventurer. Surely you must be willing to join us and help out.
Amber, what are you doing here?
Is the Adventurers Guild short on experienced members?
Well, that's part of it, actually. The other reason is, when I was patrolling the perimeter of Dragonspine, I found a lost kid named Joel. I
Yeah.
heard he lives here on the camp, so I escorted him back.
Yeah, Joel's dad,
I know.
though.
Joel's father went missing.
Hmm.
I totally sympathize with how much Joel misses his family. Dragonspine is so bleak and deserted. It must have been so lonely for him here.
Aw, Amber.
Anyway, I wanted to do something to cheer Joel up, so I said I'd build a snowman with him. It's something he enjoys doing. It also gives me a chance to stay here for a while and help Cyrus out.
Maybe we should convince him to leave this area and, like, put the kid through therapy or something, because Jesus, oh my god. Anyway, sorry. Her heart's in the right place. That's all I'm gonna say. I also like that Amber's here. I like it when they bring back older characters, right? Because I know this is supposed to be happening during the Inazuma stuff. And, you know, Amber was back in Mondstadt. So, I don't know. It's nice bringing these characters back for events and such. Anyway, let's keep going.
Aw, really? Thank you. Let's go meet up with Joel then. Oh, I invited another friend of mine to join too. She should be here any second. She'll be perfect for this kind of thing.
Okay.
Hey, Cyrus, we've got to take off. Is that okay?
No problem. Go ahead. I still have some final checks to make, so I will call you before we depart.
Gonna talk to Joel now.
Joel, we're here. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy right now. It's nice to have so many people to hang out with.
I'm sure it is,
Are
buddy.
you here to build a snowman too?
Hey, Eula!
A snowman? Oh, sorry. I forgot to do the introductions. This is Eula, the Spindrift Knight and captain of the Knights of Favonius Reconnaissance Company.
Amber, you're being far too formal. The child is never going to remember all that. Please, just call me Eula.
Okay, Auntie Eula. You can call me Joel.
Auntie... Eula?
Uh-oh. Eula's gonna add that to her long list of scores to settle.
All right, if that's what you want to call me, go right ahead.
Whoa! Eula just let something go for once?
Amber, what's this I hear about a snowman? I came to assist because you told me the Adventurers Guild was short-handed.
Yeah, that's something else. But look, Joel's at the age where he should be having fun, and there's nothing to play with on Dragonspine. He used to build snowmen with his dad, and since his dad's not around, we're keeping him company instead. Besides, Eula, it's gotta be more fun than taking an ice bath all by yourself. Let's combine our forces and build ourselves a huge snowman. It'll be a ton of fun.
I approve.
Yep. Count Paimon in too.
Let's
Paimon
combine our
wants to build a
forces and...
snowman.
Auntie Eula?
Something was happening there with the audio overlapping each other where Paimon starts talking and Amber just interrupts. Oh man, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, it was just funny. I've had Eula in my party for a while. I've seen trailers and other things with her in them, and I think I have a decent grasp on who her character is just based off of those things. So I wouldn't consider this huge, big, spoilery thing unless if they talk about something specific that happens in her story quest. But even if they do, it's not the end of the world. I'm sure I'm still going to enjoy it when I do play it, and maybe I'll still learn something new about the character. But yeah, I almost forgot that Eula was involved. And now that I'm thinking about that version trailer, it was Eula and I don't remember Amber. But wasn't there also Bennett? Because I haven't seen Bennett in character at all in this game. Even though he's like, I have him as a C4 right now, technically. Anyway, that's not the point. I think Bennett's here too at some point. Not sure. But let's continue. We're talking about recreating the movie Frozen.
Are you too busy to join in? If so, it's okay. I understand.
No, nothing like that. My mind was on something else, that's all. Building a snowman with Joel, are we? Sounds wonderful. I'd be delighted to join you.
That's nice.
Then let's get started. First, we need to split up into teams to gather some supplies. Joel and I will be on one team. You and Eula can be on the other team. Hey, Joel, see that huge tree over there? Wanna race me there? Yeah, let's do it!
Wow, those two are fast. It's hard to tell which of them is having more fun. Hey, what's up with you two? Why are you just staring at each other without saying anything?
Well... Joel probably hasn't spent much of his life in the city. He doesn't know me. And he doesn't know what the Lawrence name means to the people in Mondstadt.
Oh, right, that whole thing.
That's why he calls you Auntie Eula.
Careful, Paimon.
True. In his eyes, I'm just another ordinary person from Mondstadt. It was a surprise, but not in a bad way at all.
So...
Indeed. It's just... That's the thing. I'm a little worried that I won't be up to the challenge. I have never built a snowman before. My upbringing was very strict, so I never had the chance when I was a child.
You can be a child
And after
now!
I grew up, of course. It's not the sort of thing I would spend my time doing.
Why not?
Oh no! Paimon's starting to feel sorry for Eula.
You sound confident. All right then. Enough small talk for now. I see we have a member of the Adventurers Guild joining us.
Greetings. We have a slight problem here. We've done a head count, and it turns out that we have an odd number of participants. In other words, we still have one instructor slot left to fill. How it happened was, we originally asked Fischl to be an instructor, but she was busy with something outside of Mondstadt during this period. So, we found another adventurer to fill in for her, but they still haven't shown up yet.
Because I didn't see Pallid here, I thought they were going to show up and be like, yeah, so our head count's off, and they were going to be like, we have to find Pallid. Bro went missing. And I was going to rage so hard if that was the case. Anyway, I feel like this is moving towards what I assume to be Bennett's introduction.
Thank goodness you are here.
Oh, hello. My name is Gerald. I'm a new adventurer.
No one asked.
In that case...
I'm kidding.
Fine. But for that, you will pay.
Huh? Pay for what? Okay. I got it. I'm ready and willing to learn.
Good, good. Then everything is settled. Thank you for your help, Eula. If anybody else signs up later, I may have to ask for your help as well.
No problem.
Why did you give the spot to Eula?
I want to know people that she's cool and stuff.
Oh, okay. You're so nice. Paimon noticed Eula smiled just now. It must have meant a lot to her.
Good.
To be honest, Eula really is the best candidate for an instructor. Most people would find it hard to cope on the mountain because of the sheer cold, but not her. Oh, now Paimon gets it. This must be the whole reason why Amber got Eula involved in the first place. We were supposed to find supplies, but now Eula's busy with other stuff, and, Paimon doesn't feel like going around collecting things. How do you think Amber and Joel are doing? Let's head up the mountain and see what they're up to.
Master.
Strange. Didn't they say they were going this way? Where the heck are they? Did we get here too late? Have they moved on already?
Strange rustling sound. Gasp. Did you hear that?
Could they be in danger? Hurry! Let's go check it out! It's coming from that direction! The sound is completely stopped! How could that happen? After all the adventures we've been on, our tracking skills are honed to perfection. Aren't they?
I don't know about that.
Guess we underestimated whatever was behind it. But if that's the case, then what exactly are we dealing with here?
I know that voice.
Huh?
What brings you to Dragonspine?
Hey. It's the guy.
Oh, so it was albedo all along!
All along. Oh, what do you mean by that?
On the way here, we kept hearing weird noises, and it felt like someone was watching us the whole time. Turns out it was just you! Honestly, you really gave us the creeps. If you're bored up here, go find something useful to do. Don't go sneaking around scaring the poop out of people.
The things you felt and heard could easily be attributed to animals, or bandits, perhaps. You should be wary at all times in this environment. There are all too many ways to sustain losses here if you aren't careful. So, what business brought you here?
We actually came to look for you, but then it turned into looking for Amber, but now we've met you, so we're back to that again.
Your thought process is rather chaotic, as is the way in which you articulate it.
Hey!
Is that so? Then it must surely be something of great importance. I'm all ears.
It's nothing serious.
He seems to be in a better mood than we thought, right? Does that mean Timaeus' stupidity doesn't really get to him after all?
We were overthinking it.
Huh. Okay, let's just forget that ever came up.
That's okay if you can't tell me about it. Just treat this as an opportunity to stroll on the mountain and enjoy the view.
So basically, the truth is we're here on adventurer duty.
I think Albedo's voice actor is great. He does a really good job at just selling it. Like, it's just very calm. There's like a twinge of uneasiness, like there's a subtle nervousness to it, but he's still very polite and just sounds educated with how the character is written. So yeah, I like the combination that we got here. You definitely get a hint of layers to the way he says his lines, and I like that.
Oh, I see. So you foisted the rookie off onto Eula so that you could wander off and goof around?
Damn, he right.
We're not goofing around! And Eula was the right person for the job! We were just being nice. What about you then, huh? What are you doing on Dragonspine?
He
A
researches.
friend commissioned me to do some artwork recently, and I have yet to finish. I came here because it's a quiet place where I can gather my thoughts, gather inspiration, and gather some raw materials while I'm at it.
Raw materials? For what?
Paint. Star silver can be used to make high-quality silver paint.
Damn.
I just ran out of my previous batch, so I'll collect some ore while I'm here.
Ore can be used to make paint?
Yes, but you have to be selective with the specimens you choose. Even with a high level of impurities, star silver still contains fine silver-colored particles, but they lack luster, which impacts the color saturation of the pigment made from them. Paint made with such pigment is generally viewed as a fake or a defective product.
Interesting. So, paint aside, can you talk about how you find inspiration? Paimon wants to learn.
You want to learn to paint?
No, not for me. For the traveler. Paimon wants the traveler to learn how to paint. During our travels, we sometimes have nights where there's nothing to do. It'd sure be nice to do something memorable rather than just sit around. Painting is a great example because it can capture a moment in time. So it seems like it's definitely a worthwhile skill to have. Yep, why not? Once you mastered it, you can paint Paimon.
Well,
Not a bad idea. Well, since you two would like to learn more about painting, why don't you come with me to the campsite? I have painting materials there. You can practice while I give you some guidance.
hell yeah.
Sounds great.
What about Amber?
Oh, she'll be fine. She is a knight of Favonius after all. Let's just forget about all that stuff for now and go with Albedo.
Alright, fine.
Come on, let's go. It's so cold out. Paimon wants to get to the camp and warm up by the fire.
We just ditched our friends to hang out with our other friend. Feels bad, man.
Thieves! It's gotta be!
Some things are missing.
Nothing valuable, hopefully. Wait, where's Paimon's Mora?
It's hard to say their value, but some of my alchemy notes are missing.
That's no good.
Alchemy notes? Would they fetch a high price?
To the uninitiated, they are merely scraps of paper. But for someone who knows what they're doing, the knowledge contained in those notes is more valuable than any treasure.
So you're saying only someone who knows alchemy would have stolen them? But the only people who come to Dragonspine are adventurers, thieves, and monsters. What use would any of them have with your notes?
It's probably not
I
that
feel
simple.
the same way. However, hilly trail break-ins and other such incidents are not unheard of on Dragonspine. It's difficult to draw a conclusion based solely on the evidence at hand. These appear to be...
Footprints?
fresh ones. Meaning our thief can't have made it far.
Let's chase him down! We can't let them get away!
Okay.
From the entrance, the footprints go that way.
Oh, that thieving... thief!
Following tracks. I was half expecting us to use elemental sight here. But it looks like you just have to go to the checkpoints.
The footprints lead up there.
So they scaled the cliff. Okay, after them! Die!
Of course, it leads you through all the enemies.
Footprints on the snow are so hard to notice. So easy to lose track completely.
That's why we have to hurry.
Huh? The footprints stop here!
Our thief must have jumped from the cliff. Get your wind glider ready. We're going down. Here, more footprints.
They're heading to the cavern! Ooh, we got you now! You sure can run, but you definitely can't hide! Let's go in!
Okay.
Wait, I have an idea. I'll go in alone. Traveler, please stay here and guard the entrance. This cavern has 2 points of entry, and there are shortcuts inside. Judging from the state of the footprints, he hasn't been in there long. I should be able to reach the other side before he does.
Got it. I don't know if that's the best
Cut
idea,
'em
but
off at
sure.
both ends. Good idea!
Whoever apprehends the thief first has to notify the other party. This way we're fully covered.
I
Still,
guess it makes
safety
sense.
comes first. We do not yet know the identity of our thief. Please take care.
We'll be fine.
Okay, see you shortly.
You take care too.
Of course.
After albedo leaves, you and
I
Paimon
wonder if
hang out
Albedo
here.
found the thief. This is taking forever.
It's not been that long.
Really? Huh. Maybe it just feels like a long time because Paimon hates waiting. Waiting is so boring. Why don't we find something to do to pass the time? You know, something like... Oh! Look at all that star silver over there. Why don't we gather it up for Albedo?
Hell yeah.
It's right next to the cavern, so we won't be going far. If anything happens outside, we can be right back here in no time.
Sure.
Yay! Let's get started. This stuff looks kinda lackluster. Is that because of the impurities like Albedo was talking about? Hey, this one's not bad. Alright, this should be enough. Some star silver shines a lot more brightly than others, huh? Finally, you're back.
Yes,
Then why is the thief
Sorry.
not with you?
I was unable to catch him. He was faster than I'd imagined.
Oh, so after all that, we still don't even know who the thief was? What a waste. Still, we won't be going back completely empty-handed. We did some mining.
Mining?
Yeah, for star silver. Look, we got quite a lot. It's just like you said. Some are really bright and shiny, and others just look like regular lumps of rock with a little shiny bit here or there.
Star silver. I was merely saying what was on the front of my mind. I hadn't thought you would genuinely go and gather some.
Oh,
Well, you said they can be turned into paint, so we got pretty curious. Also, if it weren't for that thief, we'd be making paint by now anyway, right? Or even painting by this point. Anyway, it's all the thief's fault fault for wasting our time.
Yes, it's all the thief's fault. The notes mean a lot to me. I'm not quite ready to give up the search yet. Let's keep an eye out for clues as we go.
Oh, just one thing. Do you want us to bring all this ore back, or did you want to sort through and get rid of the useless bits first? There's no point in bringing the bad ones back if it'll ruin the quality of the paint. Some of them do look pretty dull to Paimon, so it doesn't seem like those will be of any use at all.
Indeed. The sorting process is necessary. Humans are such practical creatures. They only want those things that are good. Once they have learned to distinguish between good and bad, they will never stop comparing things in their minds.
Whoa.
Useless things should be disposed of at the outset.
Right! Saves a lot of time that way. Efficiency first. So let's start by...
Help! Help me!
We'll help you in a second, pal. Holy crap. Sad boy albedo hours, right? Am I right? Listen, this guy is constantly... I don't even want to say comparing himself, but just evaluating his own existence or trying to make sense of it and how it compares to or how it relates to normal humans around him. In the very beginning of this event, we talked about... Oh man, the writing is so good. We talked about alchemy, and I made a joke about it in the beginning, being like, all this over a juicer? Like, there's that message. Things are always being compared to other things. And how you can see if they're beneficial or not, and if it's not beneficial in some way, then there's no point in having it. Sucrose talked about it with the juicer. Sucrose talked about it with alchemy in general, saying how people thought alchemy was worthless until albedo came and showed everyone that it's not. But albedo here is now referencing it, but he's talking about himself and his own experience being seen as a potential, questionably, allegedly, a waste. He knows that people see him in this weird way, that he's not as welcome as the next individual. He is pretty much an outcast, and he is different, and he notices his differences, and whether or not he's been told that by people like Rosaria, he at least feels that way about himself. And now I think about the rest of the party members that we are having in this situation, in this event. We have Amber. She's like the last of the Outriders, right? She is an outcast. She's in the Knights of Favonius, but she's like the last one that does her thing. Maybe there are other Outriders, but we haven't met them. And as of right now, it sounds like she is the last one keeping up with old practices. Things that aren't normally trained anymore within the Knights of Favonius. So, she is different from the herd, right? Then we have Eula. Eula is different from the herd. She has her family history, her ancestry, and it plagues her. She is always seen at this disadvantage where she's just assumed to be a bad person, and she brings it up with the whole Joel thing. Like, it felt good to realize that I could just be welcomed and not seen for my family name for once. So there's that as well. We have, so Albedo, not human, is an outsider. Amber practices Favonius outwriting stuff, which is not a thing anymore. Eula, family history, got it bad family history. And so there's this prejudice when it comes to her. And now, pretty soon, I don't know if it's right now, maybe, I'm waiting for it. I'm pretty sure Bennett is in this event, and if he is, I know Bennett is an adventurer, and he's extremely unlucky. Maybe people don't want to be around him because they're afraid of catching his bad luck. You know what? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. So it's like, this makes sense. Plus us, the Traveler. We're not even from this world. We have been outsiders the entire time. So, yeah, this is an event of misfits. And some will be all gung-ho with what they do, and others will be self-reflecting. And just how Albedo's lines were delivered in this moment are just so strong and so matter-of-fact and depressing. But he doesn't outright say it. It's good. That's good writing. All right.
Wait! Did you guys hear that? Was that a cry for help?
The voice sounded very familiar.
It's likely an adventurer in danger. Okay.
More speed.
The voice was definitely coming from around here.
Is anybody there? Help me!
Oh.
No
Yep.
way. Is that?
Is that the Traveler and Paimon? It's me, Bennett!
So I guess we would have met him.
Oh, it's really him. Let's get him out.
So sorry to trouble you guys again. The key should be someplace nearby. Please, help me find it.
Wow, so much clutter. Oh, we're not gonna find the key here, surely. Uh-oh, we got company.
Fatui locked him up.
Burst forth.
Crush! Vengeance will be mine.
Stay right there.
This is order.
Eye for an eye.
Oh, so they kept the key with them. Huh. We were searching around for nothing.
Oh, finally, I'm out. Thank you so much. If only there hadn't been rocks mixed in with the snow on the tree, it wouldn't have made me all dizzy when it fell down onto my head. And then I would have never walked into the Fatui's trap.
Bennett in a cage? Never saw that coming.
Okay, sarcasm.
I won't bore you with the rest of the details. Just me being unlucky again.
He drove off the Fatui. We got revenge for you.
Yep, taking them out was child's play. No need to thank us.
You did? That's so nice of you guys. I know they were probably just following orders. But still, thanks for helping me out.
So what are you doing on Dragonspine? Didn't Razor want to come with you?
Did you hear about the Adventurers Guild thing? They're hosting a winter camp here. As one of their veteran adventurers, I'm here to help out the rookies. Razor's not an adventurer, and as the leader of Benny's adventure team, as well as the only actual member, I had to come on my own. But now I've been stuck here for so long, I probably missed it. I hope Cyrus doesn't get mad at me.
Oh! Wait, so that guy Gerald who got left in the lurch, he was supposed to be paired up with you? If so, sorry, Bennett, but you really did miss it. He got paired up with a different instructor instead.
What? Weren't they short on instructors? Where'd they suddenly get extras from?
A few people from the Knights of Favonius stepped up in order to help support the event, so they ended up with more instructors than students.
Knights of Favonius. Yeah, they're definitely more reliable than me. I'm just a walking accident waiting to happen.
Don't be like that. You're alright.
Anyway, that was just the situation when we last saw them. It might have changed by now. Who knows? Maybe a whole load more rookies will have turned up to join in. Besides, after all the trouble you've gone to show up as an instructor, Paimon's sure Cyrus will put you to work.
Really?
For sure. second. Where'd Albedo go?
Didn't he come with
Albedo?
us?
You mean the alchemist from the Knights of Favonius? He's one of the instructors too?
No, he just happened to be on Dragonspine. We were just with him, but then we heard you calling for help. He must have left us at some point after that. Could he have gone back to keep looking for clues? Let's go back to the cavern and see if he's there.
Yeah, it's a little weird for him just to go missing without saying anything. And yeah, we have Bennett. Okay, so Bennett was supposed to be one of the instructors, because I guess he does have experience, whether or not he has his, he has trouble forming his team. Okay. But, yeah, dude walked into a trap. And he does realize that he is unlucky. Or is he actually lucky? Because worse things could have happened.
Still no sign of Albedo. This is weird. Where has he run off to?
This is great! Dragonspine's so fun today! There's so many people around. It's never usually like this.
This was where we heard Bennett's cry for help, right?
Right.
We heard his voice and went straight over to rescue him. Then we noticed Albedo was gone. Huh. So he just didn't feel like helping us save Bennett?
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Albedo! Where the heck have you been? We've been looking for you!
I should be the one to ask you that. Didn't I tell you to stay at the cavern entrance?
Huh?
I'm not really following who was waiting for who and who was looking for who, but first things first. I apologize, Albedo. I don't fully understand what's going on, but it seems like it's mostly my fault.
No. Bennett, this is not because of you. You needn't blame yourself. Traveler, clear this up for me. What was the reason that you left the cavern entrance? Did you...
There you are.
Whoa. There's more than one Albedo happening right now. I feel like things are gonna start getting a little crazy.
There you are. Stay right there. You have a lot of explaining to do.
What? Me?
Huh? You, huh? Aren't you supposed to be helping the new guy?
Yes, that's what I would be doing, if I hadn't been interrupted by a certain someone's malicious scheming. Albedo, I saw you taking Joel towards the wasteland at the edge of Dragonspine. That place is crawling with monsters. What the devil do you think you were doing?
Whoa, wait a second. What's going on? Actually, wrong question. How much stuff is going on?
When I came to stop you from leading Joel any further, your first reaction was to throw the child down and attack me. When I fought back, you quickly fled. Care to explain?
I see. Interesting.
Interesting.
Eula, it sounds like you met an imposter. Someone who was impersonating me.
Impersonating you? To what end?
It is difficult to draw a definitive conclusion for now. But these strange incidents do seem to be connected.
Okay, we go over all the stuff.
Your alchemy notes were stolen. Can the Traveler and Paimon testify that the three of you were together up until you entered the cavern?
Yes, we can confirm that.
As things stand, I don't have any reason to harm the child. Whoever you met is likely to be both the thief who stole my notes, and also an imposter. Of course, it's entirely natural for you to be skeptical of my story. I was separated from the Traveler and Paimon for a significant duration while we were pursuing the thief. My word alone cannot serve as a definitive account of my actions and whereabouts during that period. But the Traveler and Paimon can at least testify that I was not the individual who tore up the campsite or stole my notes.
Albedo, do you have any enemies? Could it be one of your enemies impersonating you to get revenge on you or something?
I don't have any enemies. And I'm not aware of having given anyone cause to exact vengeance upon me. There is insufficient evidence to assert what happened with any certainty at this point. Given how serious the situation is, I intend to investigate it myself, even if you decide not to pursue it any further. Eula, I won't discourage your ongoing suspicion of me if you can't believe my story. Though, naturally, I would hope you can afford me some credibility on account of our solidarity as fellow members of the Knights of Favonius. Traveler, Paimon, Bennett, if you are willing, I welcome you to monitor my activities beyond this point so that you can act as my witnesses. If I am what this imposter wants, he will come looking for me again eventually. Things can only become clearer from that point on.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, as preposterous as your claims sound. And I will choose to believe that an imposter went after Joel, and not you. I will keep Joel safe. If you need any support with the investigation, contact myself and Amber.
You have my gratitude.
As far as Amber goes, I will...
Eula! Eula! Where are you?
Amber, we're here!
Eula! Oh, and Traveler, Paimon, Albedo, and Bennett. You're all together.
Quite the cast.
Great. Bennett, I'm glad I ran into you here. Cyrus was telling me you still hadn't shown up. He was getting worried you might have run into some trouble.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble. Thanks for your concern.
Sure thing. Well, now that I found you, let's go check in with Cyrus. But before that, has something come up? How come you're all gathered here together? Need any help?
Between us, there have been a few minor incidents, but nothing I haven't already dealt with.
Oh, yeah. It's my fault, really. All because of my bad luck. But everything is fine now.
So, it's all set then? Great! Shall we head back down together? I did say I'd bring Bennett back if I saw him.
Sure, I'm ready to go.
Very well. Let's go.
And then there were 3.
Traveler, can we talk somewhere else? There's something I need to tell you. Let's go to my camp.
Okay. So you might hear like some Windows sounds. That's within the recording itself. That's not on my end, just so you know. That's what that is.
My camp is somewhere that we can talk openly, without reservation. But before that...
Whoa. What a mess!
Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been absorbed in my research lately and haven't attended to the dusting. It's due for a cleaning.
Well, I mean, your floor is dirt right now, so...
Yep, that should do it. Neat and tidy.
Thank you, both of you. Now that everything is in order, it's time to talk.
You look really serious right now. Is this about what happened earlier?
I remember I once told you that you must have questions, and that I would answer them. I also said that, while I did not wish to deceive you, there were certain things I could not go into detail on. I am a synthetic human being. A human forged by a human hand. The one who created me, my mother and teacher. Her name is Rhine-daughter, a researcher from Conria, also known as Gold.
A synthetic human? What the... How the heck does that work?
When the pinnacle of attainment in alchemy is combined with unimaginably vast learning, the apex achievement is the creation of human life.
When you say Conria, do you mean...
I am indeed somewhat older than my appearance might suggest. But when I came into being, Conria had already been destroyed. I have no memories of it.
So, Conria. I've seen this name thrown around so many times, especially within the comment section. I know that it's a place that was destroyed. I think Kaya is from there. I think even... I don't know how, but I think even maybe Arlecchino has something to do with it. And now we're learning this is an actual name drop from Albedo about this. So possibly we have an idea of what Conria is at this point. So I guess we find out some information in Inazuma, I imagine. A little spoiler territory, of course. But at the same time, it is something that I've kind of heard about very briefly through the grapevine. So it's not like a big shock, I should say. I just know I know that it was a place and that it's not really around anymore. And that's about it. I don't know what goes on there.
She raised me and taught me everything. Like her, I am a pure alchemist. I live for academic knowledge. Nationality and identity are not what ultimately define us. Traveler, what is your general feeling toward Dragonspine? You've visited numerous times now. Would you say it's a cold, eerie, and melancholy place?
It's mysterious.
Ryandaughtr created two miraculous beings. One is me, and the other is the venomous dragon, Durin, who died here.
Durin? So that makes you guys... brothers?
As sons of Ryandaughtr, Durin and I are indeed inextricably linked to one another. The phenomenon of our creation defies definition within the scope of a typical human worldview. But if we may tentatively call it birth, then yes, we, by extension, are family.
Whoa, okay. I kept hearing the name Ryandaughtr. Was the name Ryandaughtr or the name Gold ever used in the summer event? I feel like it was. Albedo is related to Durin, which was the dragon that got corrupted, which is now what Dragonspine is, essentially. Just the corpse of a dragon. But still alive, because we found its heart, and through the summer event, we realized some things. Man. Oh, man. Okay. It's all coming together. This is... It makes sense while Albedo's here all the time researching stuff. And he talks about how he could potentially turn evil or corrupted or something, and if the Traveler would be able to stop him and all that jazz. Like, that's tied into it as well, because something happened to Durin to make Durin go bad. So Albedo's over here probably wondering, like, will the same happen to me? And hopefully if it does, I can be stopped. Whew!
Speaking of Durin, Paimon remembers that his power was quite special.
Strange and tenacious
That's
life
right.
force.
Because of this, whenever strange things happen on Dragonspine, it always makes me wonder. For instance, the feeling of being watched that you described, as well as the sounds you heard, and the one impersonating me that Eula met.
About that.
Oh, right! Paimon knows what you mean. When Eula and the others were here just now, the Traveler gave me a look as if to say, don't say anything. Probably because it would only make you more suspicious, so Paimon kept quiet.
Good.
But Paimon noticed that you came out of the cavern not too long after going in, and you told us that you didn't manage to catch the thief. Then we heard Bennett calling for help, so we went to rescue him. But strangely, you didn't come with us. And when we got back to the cavern to go find you, suddenly you were the one looking for us.
So, it seems that you met my imposter too.
Well, if so, it was a pretty good impression. He had you down to a T. We never would have guessed. Also, after he left us, why did go after Joel.
Perhaps Durin's power drives people to madness. But that's merely crude conjecture.
Theory. Prediction. Just the fact that Albedo and Durin have this connection, and Albedo's been on Dragonspine for so long researching things, and this confirms that Durin is laying in dormant, but is still very aware of what happens on the mountain at the very least. And because weird things can happen here and there that are all connected to Durin, these phenomenons that happen on Dragonspine that Albedo pointed out, what is the possibility of Durin creating a copy of Albedo? Like, it's Durin's energy. I somehow feel like Durin is maybe even subconsciously at play right now, doing things. And not necessarily making an illusion, but he did create some kind of copy. And maybe this imposter Albedo, it's even more unhinged and stuff. Like, or at least more emotional, and it'll eventually become more unhinged and threatening as time goes on, because it's not like a perfect recreation. I don't know, that's my guess of how this might escalate, of how this thing even exists in the first place. I could be wrong though, and maybe it's another character that we haven't even seen, but just like moving about the wilderness of Dragonspine, feeling like we're tracking something, or that we're being watched, or something's following us. Like, that could just be like the essence of Durin itself, observing everything and whatever, and like in a weird way trying to get some kind of attention, like it's a cry for help, and then it just starts messing around. It sounds ridiculous right now, thinking about what I just said. But I don't think it's another person who we've met. And I feel like it'd be kind of lame if it was just like, oh, it's just Steve. The guy is a disguise artist. Like, that doesn't make sense. There's no setup for that. But this whole entire event so far was set up to be like, we are outcasts. We're not the same as everyone else. Here's a party of people that feel this way or seem to be this way. And what's stopping Durin from feeling that too?
Whether someone is impersonating me or there is another false me out there, this is a cursed tale, and it is not one whose weight you should have to bear. Traveler, perhaps you should return to Mondstadt if you have no further business here. The work that lies ahead will occupy me completely. I'm afraid I will be unable to entertain you beyond this point.
I'm not going anywhere. You can't make me. Paimon and I will help.
We're Dragonspine veterans by now. If there's something really bad going on, we can't just leave you here to deal with it on your own. That wouldn't be very nice now, would it? Besides, there's no one else in Mondstadt that you can talk to about this. Sucrose and Timaeus don't know your secret.
We're the only ones who can help.
Yeah, don't push us away at a time like this.
All right. Thank you. You were intending to participate in that winter camp, if I recall correctly. That could serve as an excellent pretext for you to remain on the mountain. In that case, please join in the activities of the Adventurers Guild as planned, and be on the lookout for any leads while you're at it. If anyone sees me, or someone like me...
We'll be sure to pass the info straight on to you.
Good. Then we're agreed.
Okay, let's split up to look for clues, then meet back here at this camp in a few days' time.
Sounds good to me. But please, whatever happens, put your safety first at all times.
Wow. Snowy Pass, quest complete. This is the Albedo that walked out of the cave early. I'm trying to look to see if there's anything visually different between this one and the real one. Vision is the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Albedo! We're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
How's your investigation going?
Your faces say that perhaps You haven't turned up anything?
We investigated all over the mountain, actually. But we didn't see anyone that looked like you or hear of anyone else meeting you.
This is not unexpected. I haven't made much progress either. He appears to know that we are looking for him, and has opted to lie low for the time being.
Or maybe he was always operated discreetly.
Still, there is one thing I found. I discovered footprints on some parts of the mountain, and although they were a little covered by the snow, I could tell they'd been left by someone of a similar size to myself. The footprints were quite numerous, so I believe my next step will be to rule out each of the adventurers active on Dragonspine, one by one.
We can help with that. We have plenty of contact with the adventurers. So now we...
Oh,
Ah! What was that?
It came from that direction.
Could it be the imposter?
let's go check it out.
Yes, let's hurry.
The shadows deepen.
Hey, did you see that? Did those rocks shake just now?
Oh,
That was most unfortunate.
What are you guys doing here?
I have to agree. We've been wandering this area for days.
We ran into Pallet earlier. You know, the, kind of a reckless sort of guy.
you don't say.
You know the one? Anyway, he said he was unlucky, so I gave him some adventuring survival tips.
After that, he disappeared to rejoin the training camp.
Wait. Are you saying that after all this time you still haven't made it back to the base camp?
Well, as you can see,
It was nothing really. We just hit a few landslides and snowdrifts and took a few downhill tumbles. You know the deal.
They sound like unforgettable life events to me.
Anyway, you're correct. We haven't made it to the base camp yet. We have had extraordinarily poor luck over the last few days. Almost as if a sinister force has been trying to thwart our every move. Fortunately, I made advance arrangements for Gerald to remain in a safe location and conduct some basic physical training exercises.
I'm sorry. I'm the one to blame for all this. I've always had bad luck and it always rubs off on everyone around me. Sorry to create so much extra trouble for everyone.
Bennett! I don't know if there's some supernatural force giving you bad luck all the time. But, like, if you keep thinking about it and talking about it, you manifest it, my guy. You gotta chill out. I mean, it's good that he's apologizing, even though it's not technically, it's still not his fault, unless if it is some supernatural thing that's like, oh, you just always have bad luck. And he's like, ah, shucks. That I understand. But, like, man does it to himself, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know what to say. Maybe this is the awesome power of fate. The scary kind, I mean.
Has nothing to do with fate.
I agree.
Yep, we're just used to it now. Besides, it's not like we have the most amazing luck ourselves.
Really? I think you guys have way better luck than I do.
We probably do.
Well, what can we do about that? Oh, Paimon knows. How about Paimon share some of her luck with you?
Paimon, don't do that.
you're welcome to a bit of mine too. Although if the last few days are anything to go by, it seems in pretty short supply at the moment.
You guys.
You can't have mine, I was lying.
Than's.
I need it. I'm
With a
not
little
sharing.
luck from everyone combined, we'll make it down this mountain for sure.
Yeah, you bet.
In body bags.
Let me flip a treasure hoarder insignia to test it out. All right, it's tails. The opposite of what I guessed.
So you can predict your fortune this way? But why are you so happy that you got it wrong?
It has two sides, so there's a 50-50 chance of me getting it correct. Luck all comes down to probability, too. So as long as I use up all the bad luck, everything else will go smoothly. Guessing wrong when I flip an insignia is one way to use up some of the bad luck. So the probability of having some good luck in the near future just got a little higher.
I don't think that's how that works.
Hey, he's making no sense at all. Why aren't you calling him out?
I mean, he's not you.
Guys, I guessed wrong in my insignia flip, which means we should be able to make it back to camp.
Paimon's not sure that's how it works.
Let me try. It's this way, right? Oh, ow, my butt. What is this shard of ice doing here?
What? How truly miraculous. This is a miracle of misfortune.
I don't
miracle of
usually believe
misfortune.
in luck, but Bennett makes the best case for it I've ever seen. Amber, if you are ever required to partner with Bennett in your future work and you encounter anything like this again, do not take any rash action. Wait for me and I will come to support you.
Huh? Yes, of course. Now that you mention it, I do feel a little tired. Trekking in the mountains has a way of wearing you out.
Well, since everyone is tired, why not take a rest in my camp?
Paimon's so sleepy. A nice bowl of hot soup and a good sleep would sure be welcome right now.
Suddenly, I'm kind of sleepy too.
Amber will fall asleep in the snow if we keep going much longer. Come on, let's move. We shall head to Albedo's camp and get some rest. Take stock of our supplies, and decide how to get off this mountain.
Meanwhile, Bennett walked off screen and died. He'll be fine.
Here we are. Make yourselves comfortable. Oh, I forgot I don't have that many chairs. Please wait a moment.
What's he doing? Painting?
He is.
He's painting a chair. Wait, alchemy can turn paintings into objects? How is this possible?
He's just special.
My paintings are like blueprints. Alchemy simply enables me to omit the manufacturing part of the process. It's an elementary level technique. With enough research and experimentation, this same technique can even be used to create living beings.
Whoa. Well, since you can magically produce chairs, can I have one with a backrest?
No problem. How many of you want backrests?
Me! Me!
I'll also take one with a backrest, if you please.
Can Paimon have a chair that comes with a juicer?
Oh my gosh.
Still beats squeezing onto a stool with you.
Damn. You float, you don't sit.
Cool, we have chairs now.
Hell yeah.
This is so comfortable. Makes me want to stay the night here.
You're very welcome to stay overnight if you wish. There's still some time before dinner. Get some rest, everyone. I'll tend the stove.
Hey now, we can't be letting you do all the work. I can help. Please, put me to work.
This is wholesome. I would be walking around talking to all these characters, man. What are you doing? Oh, it's fine. Maybe they still will.
It's almost ready now. Traveler, please light the campfire and gather everyone for dinner.
Let's light it up!
Yay! Dinner's ready! Food's ready, everyone! Come on, let's eat!
I made a few dishes based on some popular Mondstadt recipes. This is no good hunter, but there should be enough to go around. Please, help yourselves.
Wow, smells great. Don't mind if I do.
Wait, don't steal all the fried vegetables. Leave some for me. Hey!
Everyone enjoys dinner around an open fire.
Ah, Paimon's full. What a great meal!
Albedo, you're too modest. These dishes are as good as anything you'd find in a top restaurant. Are all alchemists so good at cooking?
You may be onto something there.
Right? Paimon thinks so too. It's his lab manner that gives it away. The kind of guy who holds a potion bottle as steady as a rock isn't the kind of guy who's gonna be slapdash with his salt and pepper.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Friendship.
I'm so sleepy after all that food.
Did Bennett fall asleep sitting up? He must be totally wiped out.
The way he's sleeping is so alert. I'm impressed.
He's probably gone through some horrible stuff. Being attacked in his sleep
He
and such.
seems to be in a deep sleep. Oh, Paimon wonders if he sleep talks.
Oh, no, Dad, no apples for me. I want sticky honey roast and fisherman's toast.
Sticky honey roast. That's your favorite, isn't it, Amber?
Sure is. Give me a sticky honey roast from Good Hunter any day. I used to take Eula to Good Hunter a lot back when we first met. Before long, Sarah would start cooking our usual orders as soon as she saw us coming. She said we ordered the same thing so often that it was practically muscle memory by that point. She also said that if everyone in Mondstadt ordered like we do, her job would be so much easier. All she'd have to do is memorize everyone's favorites.
Always eating together. Aww, it's nice that you two are so close. The Traveler and Paimon always eat together too. It's a sure sign of true friendship.
Two people simply sharing a meal says nothing either way about the relationship between them.
Yeah,
That depends if it's a one-off meal or a regular occurrence.
he's not wrong.
Aha! Paimon just noticed something. Whenever Eula doesn't want to admit to something, she raises her chin or puts her hands on her hips.
Ah, you've all picked up on that. Didn't know Eula's tells were so easy to spot.
Very easy.
We are done here, yes? I am free to go, am I not? Then please excuse me. I have a frozen lake I need to be at.
You're going for an ice bath at this time of night? Wait up! Don't go without me!
I thought you wanted to get some sleep. So maybe you should stay here and rest.
No, I should come with you. It's late, and it's dark, and you're not good with directions like I am. Come on, let's go together.
A door.
An ice bath? Whew. Rather them than Paimon.
I'd do an ice bath.
So much roast meat. Oh, hey, Dad. I'm doing all right. I'm the leader of my own adventure team now.
Wow. Bennett really is a sleep talker. Okay, looks like we got some downtime now.
All right, you two. Time to paint.
Bear to
Have
be
you decided
amazed.
what to paint?
Like you even need to ask. It's obviously going to be Paimon.
I don't want to paint Paimon.
Sure. But we should move elsewhere. We're likely to disturb Bennett's sleep if we stay here, so let's go outside.
Okie dokie. Alright, grab your easel, paper, brushes, and paints. Don't leave anything behind.
Hello there, I'm Roshi and I'm from Roshi Reviews, a new channel where I react to things, review things, all sorts of things, like anime and games and whatever else I could think of. It's going to be fun, and although there's no videos on the channel yet, I can guarantee you that there will be things such as this. Man, not the speed lines for laughter. Wasn't this girl in the class? Whoa! So if that's something that you're interested in, subscribe now so you're ahead of the curve so you can see when updates start going up in October. That's very soon. So what are you waiting for? Go there and subscribe now. What are you doing? What? Get out. Fine. Back to the video.
Let's paint here.
Allow Paimon to adopt an elegant pose for your artistic reference.
Huh?
Hey! What's that look for? Cut the attitude and start putting your perfect Paimon down on the page. You better take this seriously, because this is going on Paimon's wall.
What wall?
Confidence is a good thing. Those to whom it is endowed do well to flaunt it. I'm looking forward to the finished piece.
Alright, let's start with the head. Now, in your mind's eye, what is written on Paimon's face? Huh? Is that how Paimon really looks to you? Okay, forget it. We can come back to that. Let's move on to the body. Come on, paint what you see when you look at Paimon.
Don't pick the first option. Don't do it. Don't you scum.
Paimon's starting to feel like this is not going to turn out so great. Now Paimon's getting nervous. Let me see. Let Paimon see. What is this? Why you... How could... Paimon is lost for words. The brushwork is smooth and the composition seems professional quality. You had no problems there. So what the heck happened with the face, huh? Explain that stupid expression! Explain it!
This picture, this painting, is very funny, and I like how the traveler is very pleased with himself about it. I already talked about before, I absolutely hate the emergency food joke. It's not funny, and it never will be funny, at least to me. It is a funny picture, though. Like, the derp face is on point. Like, if I saw this face, the first thing I would think of is Paimon. So at least there's that.
What happened with the face, huh? Explain that stupid expression! Explain it!
It's accurate!
Smooth, professional quality.
And those eyes! Those boring, lifeless eyes! Where's the soul?
Where is yours?
Traveler, have you previously received any education in the fine arts?
Yes.
What? You pour your heart on the page and this is what comes out?
I just wanted to convey how special you were.
You seriously think
Are.
special is supposed to look this ugly? Paimon's not convinced. But Paimon is struggling to come up with a comeback.
Fascinating. Paimon, if this is not to your liking, I can make a few amendments. Traveler, what do you think?
Please and thank you. I want to see what albedo comes up with when looking at Paimon. Just don't create another one, for the love of God.
Alright then. Paimon, is this better?
It's a total ground up overhaul, that's what it is!
It is good.
It's so pretty! Is that really what Paimon looks like?
Adding flourish to the finished piece is an essential component of what makes art... art. This is not to say that you differ from the painting on a fundamental level, rather that the real you and the you in the painting present two different styles of beauty. You remain the core reference point for the painting. So, Paimon, you can put your misgivings aside and hang this painting wherever you like.
Wow! Thanks, albedo.
Oh, I merely added a flourish here and there. You should be thanking the traveler. In truth, ground-up overhaul is more or less an accurate description.
The more Paimon looks at it, the more she likes it. Great! Paimon has a portrait painting. Paimon's gonna
Thank you.
Nothing. I can paint you next time, if you'd like.
Hell yeah.
You can hang it in your home as a souvenir.
Yeah.
I rarely entertain so many guests at my camp. It's lively. A little noisy, even. But I don't dislike it.
Guy's going into shock.
Liveliness is a rare thing here on Dragonspine.
Everyone rests up until morning.
It's a new day. Let's go meet up with everyone.
Examine the picture. God damn it.
Hey, good morning! I slept great last night. How about you guys? All rested up?
I'm fine, as usual.
I slept well
The path
too.
down the mountain is easier to follow in the daylight. Let's take this chance to head down to the base camp.
Let's go. If we make good time, maybe we can all get lunch together.
I flipped another insignia just outside the camp. Wrong again.
So your bad luck is all used up. We'll be down the mountain in no time.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Today's the day.
Oh no, avalanche!
So good. Oh man.
Traveler, Paimon, are you all right? Are you hurt?
Paimon's fine.
I'm okay.
That's good. My arm got a little scratched up, but it's nothing serious.
How about you, though?
I'm okay, but I don't see the other two. I'm afraid the avalanche may have pushed them off the cliff.
They fell down? They'll be okay though, right?
I think they're both robust enough to survive the fall. But if the falling debris knocked them unconscious, and they're lying there in the freezing cold, we have to get down there and rescue them, immediately.
Okay, let's move.
Hang in there, guys.
So that was a cool little moment there. Nice cutscene. Avalanche coming. Eula diving, pulling Amber out of harm's way. Bennett going off the side. Albedo jumping after him. And then Eula also coming to our aid as well to help us get out of danger's way. Oh man, this is... Now my question is, we lost sight of Albedo. Is something going to happen where there's a switch at this point? The next time we run into Albedo. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Bennett, are you okay? Shout if you can hear me. Bennett!
A voice! Over there!
Bennett, is that you?
Guys, I'm over here.
Are you alright? Are you hurt?
Let me check. I'm a little dizzy, but I'm not in any pain. I don't think I'm injured.
Thank goodness. Scared the life out of me.
If you're dizzy, sit and rest for a while.
It's fine, really. This kind of thing happens all the time. I'll be fine. Thank you. Wait, where's Albedo? Isn't he with you guys?
We thought he fell off the cliff with you. He still hasn't shown up?
We found Bennett here, so Albedo can't be far away. Keep searching this area.
Got it.
Burst forth!
Your spine.
Some Ganyu gameplay. Wow.
Disgusting.
He's not here either. Let's check with the others.
There's no way the albedo situation is not going to be... We're near the heart, too? Okay. Alright. Oh, boy. It's gonna get wild.
Any sign of him?
Not a trace.
Nothing from me either.
Strange. We didn't have any luck either. Where could he have gone?
Everyone,
Albedo! Are you okay?
You're not hurt?
Nothing serious.
Okay, everyone accounted for.
Guys, I think it's gotta be because of me. The avalanche only happened because I'm here. I guess flipping a treasure hoarder insignia isn't gonna change my luck after all. No wonder no one wants to go adventuring with me.
Bennett, you gotta stop with that.
I'm so sorry.
Don't say that. I'm hardly the lucky type myself, so I'm not about to go blaming every little thing that goes wrong on you.
Right?
Exactly. Besides, Dragonspine is a dangerous place. Avalanches literally come with the territory. Bad luck has nothing to do with it, okay?
Was that really an accident? My thought exactly.
Traveler, what's wrong?
Your face looks... Oh no, did you get hit on the head?
No, I'm fine.
Here.
Everyone, the incident is behind us now. We should keep moving.
Why do I feel that Dragonspine has become more dangerous than it used to be? I hope it's just my imagination. Our top priority now is to get off the mountain and regroup with the adventurers. Whatever further dangers this mountain has to throw at us, we must face them together.
Agreed. Guys, keep your eyes peeled and watch your step. Careful does it.
Oh, man. Yeah, descend the mountain with albedo. But I don't think it's the albedo we would prefer. Something's gonna happen.
We've been heading in the right direction for a good length of time now. We must be getting close. I can feel it.
Victory is in sight! Hooray! As soon as we get to base camp, Paimon wants a bowl of hot soup and some barbecued meat.
I hope we can all get there safely. No more incidents, please.
Weird things have been happening this whole trip. Something feels wrong. But what is it?
What's on your mind? You seem a little distracted.
I don't know where to begin, really.
Something's up, isn't it? Are you hungry? Cold? Shall Paimon hug your head to warm you up?
I'm alright.
I don't think I've spent so much time on Dragonspine before. It sure is cold, but the view is amazing. Isn't it, Eula? Eula?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
I was just thinking, whenever I've met up with you at Dragonspine in the past, we always stick to the same few spots. It's much more vast and beautiful here than I realized. If it were a little warmer and a little safer, I bet this place would be bustling with visitors.
Something seemed to grab Eula's attention. Does she sense that something's off too?
I agree. People are put off by the cold and have an aversion to danger. They don't realize that there's much to explore beneath the icy exterior, if you were willing to spend the time and energy.
Also referring to people. Anyway. Sorry, I interrupted her.
The icy exterior, if you were willing to spend the time and energy. Albedo, is this the way down?
Yes.
I think there are several routes in this area. Does the path fork off here? It looks like it does. But maybe it doesn't. My head's still a little fuzzy from the impact.
The Genshin Impact.
I'm kinda dizzy too. I keep thinking things are swaying a little. Maybe I'm just hungry.
Either path will work for us. The smaller trail is less worn and harder to see, but it's also shorter. Since everyone is weary, I suggest we take the shortcut. Follow me.
He says going back up the mountain.
Wait. Bennett and Amber don't look well. Can we take a break? We can continue once their conditions have improved.
Ugh. Now that you mention it.
Huh?
You hit your head earlier, didn't you?
Oh, you noticed. Are you sure it's worth holding everyone up over a little thing like this?
No problem at all. Health and safety always come first.
Take a break.
Okay. Sorry for this. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Drinking some water can help with the dizziness. Oh, and lying flat on your back helps too.
Thank you, Bennett. Seems like you really know your stuff.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Bennett, weren't you feeling dizzy too? Stop pushing yourselves, both of you. Get some rest. We'll continue when you've gathered your energy.
Yula might come off as a little frosty, but she takes caring for her friends super seriously, more than anyone else I know. Every time I see that look on her face, I'm just like, stop staring at me.
Traveler, I know what that look means. What's on your mind?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Maybe seasoned veterans have an instinct for it. I sense it too. Something seems to have changed, but I can't confirm for sure. It could be difficult to verify.
What could it be looking at imposter albedo?
It might be imprudent to speculate out loud. But I believe you know what I am referring to.
Oh,
Traveler,
not the evil chuckle.
I think you...
Watch out! Oh! Oh, damn. Holy shit. The music's going off, too. Woo! Okay, he's using ice stuff, but his vision still looks like it's Geo. Ooh! Real albedo? Maybe? Hell yeah. Sneak attack.
Albedo, what?
It's not over yet.
Oh my god. What? What?
Brace yourselves. This will be a challenge.
Excuse me? We got a giant flower up in here? That cutscene was awesome. The choreography with the combat in that was great. I know we've had some other really cool cutscenes that were like big and grand, but on like a individual versus individual level, like that whole like that was crazy cool. I don't know how I feel about the giant flower, the Whopper flower thing. I mean, cool. It's big, and that's something. I thought there would have been a moment of us actually fighting albedo, like the imposter albedo. Maybe we'll return to that whole imposter albedo thing and see more of that, but I mean, regardless, that was pretty cool.
Let's light it up! Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Burst forth.
Okay.
Live.
Everybody stand back! Adventure time! Let's light it up!
All hail.
Let's light it up!
Coming to be. Moment of birth.
I'm going in!
It's definitely shrinking in size. Or I think it is.
Oh, so sorry. Burst forth.
Off we go!
We're waiting.
Everybody stand back!
Born of ice and frost.
Ooh, heavy damage.
What in the world was that thing? One moment it was human, the next it was a plant.
Is everyone alright?
We're fine. But can you please tell us what's going on? I don't understand. I take it this monster is whom I had the pleasure of meeting last time.
Correct. As you might have guessed, this is a mutated whopper flower. An extremely rare kind.
But can whopper flowers turn into humans?
Not typically, but conditions on Dragonspine are far from typical. Perhaps the dragon's blood seeped into the land, then was passed to the monsters via the ley lines, accelerating their rate of mutation.
How could that happen?
This mountain is home to the remains of Durin, the venomous dragon. If there is anywhere in the world one might expect life to do unfathomable things, it would most likely be here. Durin was an artificially created life form. Its existence is nothing short of a miracle, and proof of countless possibilities. In other words, this mountain we stand on is a cradle of life's profoundest mysteries. A vast and terrifying hotbed of possibilities.
The avalanche. It must have been the work of this imposter.
I think so too.
Agreed. All the other troubles you faced on the way down could also have been its handiwork. My guess is that it was targeting everyone that I've had contact with.
Right, I forgot all about that.
It's not inconceivable.
But what was its purpose? Was it just trying to get rid of us?
I have a preliminary hypothesis on this.
So do I, albedo. This thing is not necessarily a whopper flower, or perhaps it was, but the source of it is Durin, right? Like he said, like the venom of Durin itself is kind of doing things to the land and stuff. I think Durin is aware that albedo is on the mountain, of course, and is maybe essentially trying to come back to life, for a lack of a better word, to exist once again in some shape or form. Right now he's kind of messing around and can do some things, but there are probably limitations. Taking albedo's notes, because albedo, through his alchemy and his own powers, can essentially create life, and he's brought that up on several occasions. He can create things. He talks about creating life. It's trying to find out information on how to go about becoming a living being once again.
Flowers are masters of mimicry, and those we encounter in the wild often appear in the vicinity of the plants they impersonate. In other words, the whopper flower likely has an instinct to replicate and replace. As a plant, It will disguise itself as another plant and infiltrate the group, hiding among them for cover. The plant being imitated has no way to detect or fight back against this behavior. But when it disguises itself as a human...
It wanted to replace you and infiltrate our group?
Yes. Maybe it created the avalanche to get rid of us. I predicted this eventuality, so I availed myself of the avalanche to hide and lure it out. It was watching us the whole time, and when it saw that I had disappeared, its instinct was to take my place. At that point, its disguise was complete, and its next move was to hunt its prey.
Yes, that's exactly how wildflowers operate.
So
I want to believe that it is Durin's will. However, at the same time, I get how he's saying that it's more of just like the Whopperflower's instinctual way of survival also turned up to 11 because it had been mutated. It's interesting.
when it approached and attacked Joel, what was that? A trial run?
Perhaps. Or maybe it enjoyed posing as a human and wanted to experience what it felt like to be human.
We're fortunate to have discovered it in time. I think the Traveler was the first person other than Albedo to notice something was wrong.
Traveler, how could you tell the real me and my imposter apart?
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an imposter. They looked exactly the same to me.
The imposter didn't have a
I see.
star-shaped mark on his neck? Yes, he...
It goes to show how difficult it is to impersonate a...
Yes, he did. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He doesn't have a mark on his neck here. I'm a fool? The star mark on his neck is missing. I went back to part 1, where we first run into the imposter albedo before we know it's the imposter albedo. And there is no star mark on his neck. I was so close. I'm looking at this. Literally, here is what changes. Oh, gee. Oh, man. I even took a moment to look at that before, and I still didn't catch it. Oh, that hurts my brain. That hurts me so much. I thought I was, like, on it. I was too busy looking at the outfit, looking at the vision. Of course, it would be on it something different with his actual, like, flesh or skin or markings or... God, I completely spaced that out. I'm not going to live that down. That hurts. That hurts my feelings.
How could you tell the real me and my imposter apart?
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an imposter. They looked exactly the same to me.
A star-shaped mark on the neck that I
I
didn't
see.
see.
It goes to show how difficult it is to impersonate a human. This mutant Whopperflower tried its best to replicate the original exactly, but still managed to miss some details.
Unbelievable. To think that Dragonspine creates such terrifying possibilities.
Whopperflower, it adds up, but a piece of the puzzle's still missing. Was this the same one we met on the day we were chasing the thief?
Anyway,
Oh,
at least
true.
we won in the end.
There could be
It
more.
looks like my method did work after all. I used up all the bad luck, and the good luck finally came through.
About that. If you're referring to having fallen down the mountain and avoided injury, well, that's because I was secretly protecting you.
Teehee.
Well, that still counts as good luck to me.
Yes, that's not an unreasonable way of looking at it. Okay. We've been delayed long enough. Time to move on.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, man. So that was... Okay, that was wild. I feel really dumb for not noticing the star mark missing. I didn't catch it. Boy, that rustles my jimmies. That's cool, though. That's cool how they did that. I guess we're gonna find out if there's more imposter albedos out there, or imposter other characters. That could be a thing. And the one other thing about this. Once again, the idea of being different and maybe like that desire of trying to like fit in. Of course, with a whopper flower, it's an instinctual thing. It has to do that to get food and all that jazz, but it still has that element of trying to replicate or copy something else so it looks like it's a part of the group, right? That instinctual thing that whopper flower does is also tied to or connected or parallel to what we've talked about previously with all the other characters about how they're outcasts fitting in within human society, although being very different. The whopper flower in this case is just a more aggressive version of that.
Woohoo! I'm back! Cyrus doesn't seem to be here. He must have headed up the mountain. Let's wait for him here.
Amber, are you feeling better?
Yep, all good now. Nothing to worry about.
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. If not for you, I'd probably still be locked up in that cage. I really want to thank you all properly, but I can't think how at the moment.
Huh? You must be pretty used to being on the receiving end of people's kindness by now, though, surely. You probably need it often enough given your situation.
Come on, don't put it like that. Sure, plenty of people have shown me kindness before, but that doesn't mean I will ever take it for granted. No matter how many times people help me out in life, I will never forget any of them.
That's good.
Well, instead of repaying those who helped you, perhaps you could help others yourself. Everyone meets others in need from time to time. By choosing to be there for them, you're passing the kindness you received onto others.
Yep, you're right. That's what I've always tried to do, and will always continue to do. Right. And when Cyrus gets back, I'll find some way to help him out too.
This has been quite an eventful day.
Yeah, it has. It's really hit me how tired I am now that I've started to relax.
I need to rest. Everyone, please excuse me for a while.
Yeah, I need to get some water and maybe a piece of fruit. Once I'm rested up, I need to get back to being an instructor again.
Well, it looks like the curse of the mountaineers who couldn't get off the mountain is finally broken. Feels like an action-packed chapter has come to a close. Shall we find somewhere to rest and chat too?
Why not? Then please, come with me.
Knew he
You
had
sensed
something to say.
too, didn't you? Then let's go.
Huh? Are you going back to your camp again? Paimon thought maybe we could talk here.
Come on, Paimon.
Okay. Might as well come with you.
Good. Shall we set off right away?
Sure.
Sorry for bringing you back here once again. Some topics are best discussed in private.
Is this about the imposter?
That's right. I have to say, Traveler, I'm very surprised you noticed the difference between me and the imposter.
I didn't.
Yes. This mark. Perhaps it's where it all began.
Ooh, sounds like the beginning of a big story. Keep going.
Well, I can't deny that what I'm about to say does sound like something from a children's storybook. So, what do you think this diamond-shaped mark means?
A tattoo? A crest? Something else?
A scar?
No. Consider it a birthmark. Have you ever seen an intricate glass ornament and wondered how it was made? Well, one method for crafting with glass is a technique known as glass blowing. Glass blowing is not a widely known art in Teyvat. For this reason, glassware made in this way is usually very expensive. As the name implies, glass blowing involves blowing air into a hole, much like blowing up a balloon. This type of glassware is known for having a pontal mark at the point where the blowpipe was inserted, where the hole was sealed at the very end. This mark is a sign that the item was crafted by a human hand.
Sounds kind of amazing.
It is a wondrous and beautiful art form. Alice says that these marks are seen as proof of the maker's fine handiwork, the only flaw in an otherwise perfect work of art. My mark is something similar to this. The difference between synthetic and natural life lies in the directional flow of the life force. The energy of a natural life form flows out from within. That's why flower buds bloom and curled leaves unfold. And it's the very reason we watch and wonder at blossoming flowers. Creating life artificially, on the other hand, involves, to a certain extent, the introduction of an external source of energy into the embryonic life form. When the hole where the life force was infused is sealed at the end, it leaves a mark not dissimilar to the pontal mark in blown glasswares. The alchemical substance drips and spreads out in all directions, resulting in this rather ingenious diamond shape.
Wow! So that's where it came from.
This mark is a sign of my artificial origins, and proof of my imperfection as a human. I presume that the imposter intentionally avoided replicating this mark, so as not to become less than perfect himself. You are fundamentally different from other people. I have few qualms about sharing my secrets with you.
Good.
Just as Paimon said, it all sounds like a story. Even if you were to tell anyone else, they would regard it as nothing more than a tall tale. The transcendent and miraculous are not the only things to which human beings aspire. They pursue the everyday, the ordinary, to a far greater extent than I would have ever imagined. People like to believe that those who are thoroughly different from themselves could only ever exist in stories. It makes things much easier. Or, in other words, all the unfathomable things we've seen recently would make good material for a novel. I have friends who write novels. If they wrote this story, it'd probably be even more complex.
Making up stories is easy. Even Paimon can do that.
Oh. I didn't know you had that kind of talent.
Paimon's the best guide into that. Making up stories is a piece of cake.
In that case, how about we have a storytelling contest? We can base our stories on the events of the last few days.
Sounds great! But we still have to help out the Adventurers Guild.
I understand. Creativity is something that cannot be rushed. Take your time, and come back when you have found some inspiration. We'll see whose story is more compelling.
Deal! Okay, we'll regroup with the Adventurers Guild for now.
Sure. My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly. This is where the story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to replace you too. I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you in the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then, I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.
Okay. Shadows Deep and complete. That was Act 2. But let's see how this wraps up.
Traveler, Paimon, I suppose your story is ready.
Yep. How about you? Do you need some more time?
No need. I am also ready to tell my story.
Paimon calls dibs. Paimon first!
Please, go ahead.
Okay, here goes. Once upon a time, there was an evil researcher who went into the mountains and did a crazy experiment on whopper flowers to transform their appearance. After a lot of pain and suffering, the whopper flowers finally took on a human form. Then they stood by the side of the mountain to wait for unsuspecting bypassers. To whoever spoke to them, they would ask some questions such as, "Who am I? Who are you?" If the bypasser got the wrong answer, the last sound they'd make would be a yelp before the whopper flower ate them alive in one bite.
Ooh, truly frightening.
Yes, Paimon is scary.
What the? You two aren't scared at all!
I'm just really tough.
Don't go nitpicking, okay? If you didn't like the story, go write your own!
Sure.
In other words, the whopper flowers would ambush and then completely replace their victims.
And then what? Go back to where the person lives? Enter their home? Eat their whole family? Paimon made up this story, but now Paimon's the one who's scared by it.
It's a good story. Oh, may I write it down? I may bring it up in future conversations.
What for? Just to scare people with?
Yes.
You've got a real mean streak, Albedo.
What's your story?
Mine is a little longer than yours. It starts with an alchemist. A great alchemist once created Subject 1. Subject 1 was her proudest achievement, and successfully blended into human society. No one ever would have thought that this friend of theirs was in fact a synthetic human. However, unbeknownst to Subject 1, the alchemist had tried the same experiment many times before he had come into being. Some of the rejects from failed experiments had been discarded, but had not died. Subject 2 was one such failed experiment. He was swallowed by a great dragon that came to rest upon a snow-swept mountain. Many years later, he was resurrected by the dragon's mysterious power. He saw all kinds of people on the mountain, including Subject 1, who had somehow miraculously blended in among them. Never in Subject 2's wildest imagination had he thought it possible for experimental life forms such as they to deceive everyone so successfully. He saw the way humans accepted Subject 1 as a friend, witnessed their affection as they addressed him by name. This was what Subject 2 wanted. Now, all that Subject 2 desired was to replace Subject 1 and take the joy of his existence for himself.
This is giving Paimon the chills. So scary.
And it's a true story.
Subject 2 began to unfold his plan. He stole Subject 1's books and notes, and studied all that Subject 1 had learned from the alchemist. Subject 2 was highly intelligent, and he learned quickly. He changed his face into an exact replica of Subject 1's face. Then, he found a plant with mimicry capabilities, and transformed it using dragon blood and alchemy. And so, not only did Subject 2 transform his own appearance to perfectly match that of Subject 1, he also created a third entity, Subject 3.
What? There's 3 of them now?
But Subject 2 wanted to become a perfected human. So, he erased a mark on both his and Subject 3's necks. For these marks were symbols of imperfection. In my view, it was probably a subconscious act, an instinct. He so desperately craved to become a perfect human being that he forgot something. Human beings are defined by their flaws. Subject 2's plan was meticulously crafted. Subject 3 would draw Subject 1's attention. After Subject 1 disposed of Subject 3, he would assume the threat had now disappeared and would let his guard down. The next moment that Subject 1 was alone, Subject 2 would make his move. He would eliminate Subject 1 and become the only one remaining.
I mean, that's a
He would
strat.
secretly replace the Subject 1 of everyone's memories and inherit his identity, residence, clothing, sword, name, and friends. People would have no idea that the individual they knew had become somebody else from one day to the next.
Wild.
This is way too scary. Paimon's never gonna be able to trust anyone again.
And what makes it kind of scary right now is that we, after the events of part 2, we left Albedo alone. Now we have Albedo here, and he's got the mark on his neck. Now we're talking about, like, it doesn't want to have the mark because that's imperfect. But after that moment, possibly hearing us discuss what we know about this thing, what are the chances it could be like, hey, I'll put the mark back? I don't know if that's a thing, but we'll see.
But just before Subject 2 could carry out his plan, a unique stranger entered the mix. Subject 2 tried to make contact with this person, but found that they could somehow sense he was different from Subject 1. What's wrong? Are you scared?
What happened then? What happened to the stranger?
He became a new stage in Subject 2's plan. One more person that Subject 2 had to dispose of. It's as if there were 3 identical roses in a garden. Only one of the 3 was a fine specimen, while the other 2 were defective specimens that bore poisonous thorns. In all the world, only the gardener who tended to them could tell which was the good specimen. People do not like poisonous plants. Only a perfect rose can fetch a high price. If the inferior specimens wanted to conceal the fact of their worthlessness, they would have to take the gardener out of the picture, using their poisonous thorns. This is exactly what Subject 2 was thinking. So, he hid in the shadows and waited patiently. Maybe soon, he would get his chance to become truly human.
No, it's not a story. Well, it's a story, but it's a real story. These are real events, yep.
That was intense! So what happened after that? Did Subject 2's plan succeed? Paimon can't bear thinking about it.
Fortunately, it is just a story. And even in this story, Subject 2 did not succeed. But you can never let your guard down on Dragonspine. Monsters mutated with Durin's power and blood are also creatures of Rhindaughter, just like me. You must beware of all such creatures.
You're my friend.
I'm glad to hear that. It's okay. I know what I am. You and I are both different, so there is no need for me to hide the truth from you. The only thing is that sometimes, when I think about how mighty the power of alchemy is, I feel so small. As beings who set foot in this world, how arrogant are we in desiring to control our destiny, and in desiring to create? Is creation an arrogant act, traveler? If not, why do we call the ones that created us and control us gods? If it is, then what qualifies us to call ourselves creators? How far must we take our reverence and respect, and what purpose does it serve? Nothing special, but whenever I think about it, I feel a twinge of grief.
Poor Albedo.
Hello? Traveler, are you here?
Hey, is that Amber?
Thought we might find you here.
We're here to deliver a message from Cyrus. There's gonna be a big event down at the base camp, and they want you there too, Traveler.
Winter camp is nearing its end. Apparently, even provisional instructors are required to attend.
Looks like we need to go, Albedo. Bye for now.
Then I won't keep you. I have some things to attend to here, so forgive me for not seeing you down.
Don't worry about it. There have been no issues getting up and down the mountain recently.
Is everyone ready? Let's not keep them waiting.
Secret born from ashes started.
Huh? Who is this guy?
Allow me to introduce Yozerf. He's Joel's father.
What?
Dad, this is that traveler I was telling you about. The traveler's helped me out loads in the past, and this time we even built a snowman together.
Joel has told me everything about you. I can't thank you enough.
What? I'm paranoid. I don't know if I believe this. Where would he have been? I feel like this might be some Dragonspine Durin shenanigans here. I mean, if it is really his dad, cool, but it does feel really out of nowhere, considering how long Joel's father have been missing at this point. Because remember, the Dragonspine World Quests happened before Inazuma stuff. Like, some time has gone by. Guy would not survive that long in that mountain. Not unless something weird happened. We found his backpack in the snow with the last chapter of the Boar Princess in it or whatever. I'm over here like, I don't know, man. I don't think you made it. I think something's up. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing! Wait a second. Why is Cyrus discreetly wiping tears away? And what is Pallid doing here?
Pallid is the hero of the hour this time. Go on, Pallid. Tell us what happened in your own words.
Okay. The weather was fine on that fateful day, and I had a feeling that Lady Luck was smiling down on me. So I trusted my gut and set off to explore somewhere new, somewhere dangerous. Because where there is great danger, there is also great treasure.
And sometimes really stupid people pursuing those things.
Why does this sound so hard to believe?
But I had only been away from the group for a short while when I fell down a slope and just started rolling.
Uh-oh. Did my bad luck rub off on him when we ran into each other on the mountain?
The place I fell to was somewhere I didn't recognize, and I'd sustained a few injuries. I remember thinking to myself, this is the worst luck I've ever had in my whole life. Then I met Yozerf. He'd heard the sound of me falling and came out to see what was going on.
Huh?
Wow, so it was completely by chance then.
I thought he must have been someone from the Adventurers Guild here for the event, but after a few words of conversation, it was clear that he was having memory problems. He didn't even know his own name. The temperature was freezing, and there was no time to deal with all that there and then, so I convinced him to come back to the camp with me and figure everything else out after we got there. We got back to the camp, ran into Joel, and the moment he saw him, he froze for a second with this completely stunned expression on his face, and then he started crying out, "Dad! Dad!" That's when Yozerf suddenly started to remember.
My memory...
I call bullshit. I mean, I don't know. This is either them trying to have a happy ending with this story, like really hard, forced, like shoot in. Like, I don't know, but I don't trust it, man. I don't trust it at all. Albedo said before, it's like the venom of Durin within the mountain like seeps into things and stuff. So, I mean, for all we know, it could have just like found a body on the mountain and just kind of assumed its role, you know, memory loss, because it doesn't know the person, it doesn't know the character. Like, it knows Albedo, right? Enough. Albedo's always on the mountain. They have a history together, I guess. But this is just a guy. So of course it's memory loss, because he doesn't know anything about the guy's life. So he comes down the mountain, sees this kid that's like so happy to see him, calls him dad, and he's like, oh yeah, of course I'm your father. Now it's coming back. You know what I mean?
He has still not fully recovered, but Joel and his mother, they are the only ones that I will not, no, that I cannot forget.
Daddy.
Daddy's right here, Joel. Daddy's right here.
Yozerf, don't you remember anything else at all? The poor princess? Feeding the foxes?
I'm sorry. I have no recollection. Maybe it's because of the head trauma. I'm not sure. I woke up and found myself covered in blood. My things were gone, and there was nothing to indicate who I was or how I got there. I crawled into a cave and settled in for a slow recovery. After my legs and feet were a little better, my hunting skills were what kept me alive.
Dad, I was so worried about you.
I'm all right now, Joel. Oh, don't cry. Daddy's not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
All's well that ends well.
You know what, though? I definitely think my luck got worse after running into Benin on that mountain.
I knew it. I just...
No. I just meant if it weren't for you, there's no way I ever would have run into Yozerv on a mountain this huge. Besides, we got back safely, didn't we? So don't blame yourself. Maybe sometimes miracles can only happen when you get just unlucky enough.
The bad luck leads to good luck.
When did you become such a smooth talker, huh?
Huh? Am I? I was just telling the truth.
Oh, yeah. I want to say thank you to the Traveler, Uncle Cyrus, Auntie Eula, and Auntie Amber. Thanks, everyone. You all helped look after me, and I will always remember it. But I guess I can't take the snowman with me, or it'll melt once it leaves Dragonspine. It's such a shame.
Oh, I can help with that. One moment.
Oh?
Huh? Eula?
Here, take this. It's powdered rime. Just add it to your snowman, and it will never melt.
That's fancy. I want that.
Wow! Really? Oh, this is awesome! You're the best, Auntie Eula! Dad, I have an unmeltable snowman now! How cool is that?
How can I ever repay you all?
Don't mention
Thank you all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Dad, I want to go move the snowman. Can we do it now, please?
Okay. I'll be leaving with Joel now. I'm sure I'll see you all another day.
Very well, very well. It's time for Pallet and I to have another discussion concerning his breaches of adventurer discipline.
Huh? But Cyrus, I think I kind of made up for my mistakes this time, you know?
See you guys.
Oh, I made this for you and Amber. Think of it as a winter souvenir.
Are you sure? This must be really important to you.
Come on now, just take it. No need to make such a fuss.
Wow. Now our snowman won't melt either. Great.
Thanks, Eula.
You're welcome. Just keep it. That's all I ask. Amber and I have some business to attend to now. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Everyone's gone. Seems like they've all got their own stuff to do now. Oh, you know what? We've been on Dragonspine all this time, and somehow Paimon still forgot to ask Albedo about how to make a fruit juicifier machine that can keep the juice fresh. Maybe we should try Timaeus again. He does seem pretty eager to please after all.
Huh.
Ample light, active biologic.
Timaeus!
Traveler and Paimon, what can I do for you? Wait a minute. You've got that mischievous look on your face. Oh, you're not still thinking about that ridiculous juicer thing, are you?
Timaeus, will you help us?
There's no us in this situation.
Well, if the Traveler isn't really interested, then, yeah, maybe I'll give this one a pass. It's just the weirdest request ever.
No, but Paimon's Sunsetias are gonna go to waste without it.
And the time it would take me to research something like that, I could probably pick those Sunsetias again 10 times over.
True.
New research project, Timaeus? We meet again.
Okay.
Oh, albedo, thank goodness. So the situation is, Paimon wants a machine that can turn fruit into juice and keep the juice fresh. I mean, surely it's...
Majorly important, that's what it is. If you can manage to invent this, we'll never have to worry about fruit going bad ever again.
I'm not gonna walk around with a juicer.
That's impossible.
Oh, he turned a... So he what?
Turning fruit into juice is not hard, but keeping it fresh is more difficult. But if you simply want to keep the fruit from rotting, there are many ways to achieve this.
He had left Dragonspine? That was the imposter in the very beginning? They did show it from far away, so there wasn't, like, a way for us to figure that out. But, oh man. Here now, though, it's different. I'm a little confused. Because
Meet again.
here, marking.
Is more difficult. But if you simply want to keep the fruit from rotting, there are many ways to achieve this. Right, Traveler?
Okay. The mark is back. Okay. This imposter is going to learn, right? And despite feeling perfect without the birthmark, to fit in, it's eventually going to need the birthmark. However, maybe that's still fighting a part of itself, not wanting it, but it's got to be there, so it's trying to now adapt with the birthmark. And because we left Albedo alone before to go help with the Adventurers Guild, and then come back for story time, there is no guarantee that that was the real Albedo telling us the story. And then when Paimon goes into the whole, but how does it end? And then he's just like, oh, it ends fine. Everything's good. We're good. But at the end of part 2, we did see Albedo kind of walk off, most likely to confront the imposter. Who's to say that the imposter didn't come out on top and show up here and is now running around being Albedo, and it's kind of glitching out, for a lack of a better word. Like, it's not, it hasn't, you know what I mean? This is nuts.
What about his neck?
What's wrong? Is there something on my neck?
Right now there is.
From the look on your face, it's as if you thought I just played a practical joke on you that was in exceedingly poor taste.
So it was a prank. I don't think so.
Albedo, you were saying, how do you stop fruit from going bad?
Well, one way would be to bury your fruit on Dragonspine, where the snow never melts all year round.
But then Paimon won't be able to eat them!
You could always live on Dragonspine.
No, too cold for Paimon.
Or you can give the fruit to me, and I would take it to Dragonspine for you. But since you don't like the cold, you'd have to send someone else to pick them up when you want them. This is where you come in, Traveler.
Suddenly sounds a lot more feasible with other people doing all the work. Okay then, shall we go with that idea?
Fruit buried on Dragonspine will stay fresh for much longer. However, it is also possible that the fruit will sprout and grow into fruit trees. Who knows? Maybe the next time you visit, it will have grown into an orchard. You can water the trees, add fertilizer, and when they finally bear fruit, you will have some fresh sunsettias.
No way! Then Paimon will have to be a gardener! That's not the goal here.
Oh? Well, I don't think being a gardener is so bad.
They expect Albedo to joke about this. Doesn't he care about what the mark means?
Albedo! Stop trying to get your hands on Paimon's super sweet Sunsettia!
bothers you, does it?
Of course it bothers Paimon! They are the rarest, super-duper sweetest Sensetias ever! And they're not for you!
Okay, but they're just Sensetias. I think you're only so attached to them because you don't have much fruit of this quality in your possession. When someone's pockets are full and their spirit is fulfilled, they don't easily fall prey to this kind of yearning.
Really?
See, that makes a lot of sense. So you're born for ashes completed. I don't know, man.
Dragonspine is too cold for ordinary fruit trees to survive. But if, one day, Dragonspine did become home to gardens and orchards, there would be more reasons for people to visit. Perhaps a little life is the key to attracting people. Life may exist in all kinds of unfathomable forms, and in all manner of unthinkable environments. Mysterious, yet tenacious. Perhaps this is what makes life so special.
And that's it. That's my reaction. And of course, now we have to talk about it. I do want to admit something though. As I was watching this, I confused myself greatly. So here's what happened. I had a misunderstanding thinking that Durin was actually the subject 2 that Albedo speaks of, when in reality, subject 1, 2, and 3 were all different versions of Albedo. Albedo being subject 1, the perfected version. Subject 2 was the prior imperfect example of Albedo. And then subject 3 was the Whopper flower that subject 2 had created. At the time, I thought subject 2 was Durin, and that's not correct. I completely missed the line when Albedo said that subject 2 was devoured by Durin. So, just to be clear here, I am fully aware that subject 1, 2, and 3 are all different versions of Albedo and not necessarily Durin. Although Durin does come into effect because we do bring up his blood doing weird things to Dragonspine, so on and so forth. So I apologize if I said anything in the video that seemed way off and out of left field because I kept talking about Durin and his influence, and that's not necessarily the case. Yes, I acknowledge that his blood tends to corrupt things, however, it's not the same as him willfully doing it. Anyway, what I want to really bring up are the multiple theories that I have for the ending. I'm not going to go into too many details, but I still want to list off what I was able to think of, at least at this point in time. 1. Suspedo lives, and Albedo is essentially replaced. Albedo could either be dead, or just removed from contention in some way, shape, or form. 2. Suspedo lives and works with Albedo. I imagine that they could have possibly have made an arrangement of sorts, where Suspedo gets to live a fulfilling life now as Albedo, doing all the things that maybe Albedo doesn't necessarily want to do. Suspedo gets to socialize and be amongst people and feel like an actual human, while Albedo gets to be in Dragonspine and continue his research and just do his thing. Sure, it's probably kept a secret, but I could definitely see this being a possibility. 3. Albedo thwarts Suspedo, essentially, most likely, killing him. And number 4, Albedo convinces Suspedo to take on a different form, of someone who is missed, of someone that is of great importance to another's life, and this would explain the sudden return of Joseph. I'd love to go into more details about these, but I feel like it will just take me way too long to have at the ending of this video. It's already long enough, but maybe it could be something I dive into the future. But you're gonna have to let me know in the comment section if that's a video that you actually want. I know everyone and their mom already made these kinds of videos when it was actually happening, but if you want to hear my 2 cents and how I explain it, then by all means, let me know in the comment section. And you know what? Actually, let's get this video to 1,000 likes and I'll just do it anyway. So there's that. Also, before I go, if you want me to look into anything else Dragonspine related, then feel free to also comment about artifacts, other items, food, just anything you can think of with descriptions that relate to Dragonspine. There's a good chance that I've already seen them, but if not, maybe I'll stream it, maybe I'll make a highlights video about it, who knows. I would love to do more research if there is some to find regarding this topic. So that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you so much for joining me as always. To support me, go and check the description for ways on how to do so. And until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later. That was easy enough.